Neuralink just showed two users playing Call of Duty using their minds.
What would be even cooler is what if you could control two joysticks at once, simultaneously with your mind? What I'm about to show you, and I think this is for the first time someone playing a first-person shooter game with a brain-computer interface. This is Alex and RJ playing Call of Duty, controlling one joystick to move and then the other joystick to point your gun and then shooting people as a button. Here's Alex shooting another person.
Right. Oh, dear God.
Oh,
I know I do. I don't want him to freaking shoot him long when I do.
RJ, Alex got you.
I know, they shot me in the face.
What would be even cooler is what if you could control two joysticks at once, simultaneously with your mind? What I'm about to show you, and I think this is for the first time someone playing a first-person shooter game with a brain-computer interface. This is Alex and RJ playing Call of Duty, controlling one joystick to move and then the other joystick to point your gun and then shooting people as a button. Here's Alex shooting another person.
Right. Oh, dear God.
Oh,
I know I do. I don't want him to freaking shoot him long when I do.
RJ, Alex got you.
I know, they shot me in the face.
What would be even cooler is what if you could
Now, simultaneously, as this tech came out, U.S. Army appoints OpenAI, Meta, and Thier executives as lieutenant colonels. OpenAI, Meta, and Thier executives as lieutenant colonels. Something is brewing up big time. Elon Musk says Neuralink will help blind people see again within the next year. In the next 6 to 12 months, we'll be doing our first implants for vision, quoted Elon Musk. Even if somebody is completely blind, we can write directly to the visual cortex. Whew, this is a doozy. Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Yahweh being the true name of Heavenly Father, Yahushai being the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, a great millstone that touches truth and will well. And salutations to you, hopeful elect, pushing this truth and honesty, sincerity. This is Brother Yahweh. Come to another lesson to the spirit power, Yahweh Yahushai. You know the update of end times and events. Hey, as you can see, man, this is nuts. This is nuts. But hey, we told you so, man. The prophets of Great Millstone have been telling you people that this technology is coming. There's no getting around what the mark of the beast is at this point, man. More and more is being revealed. And, me and the brother, Rikar Gabar, I just did a sit down last week. We're a couple of brothers at GMS Kansas City. And we literally spoke on this, that as soon as they start advertising this technology, we know we there. World War III is pretty much going to start getting fully hot with nukes flying soon once they make the MOTB mandatory, which is the mark of the beast. And we stated that, one of the methods that they're going to advertise and get people to flock towards this is being able to use it in these video games that they're coming out with. So this is an example of using it in Call of Duty. Now, imagine immersing yourself in the metaverse and being, physically inside the game, just like the movie Ready Player One, and being in the game, in the video games such as Grand Theft Auto. These people are going to go crazy and flock to get this type of tech. Okay. So, hey, this is straight out the scriptures. All right. This is the mark that goes into the forehead, is this Neuralink technology. And this is just one company that's coming out with it. You're going to have a plethora of companies that's going to be coming out with it. And they're going to be competition with one another. The one's going to be having more things you can do with another. The other thing that that they said that this technology is going to be able to do is be able to, have mind-to-mind communication. Okay, so this is another video I'm going to play, and we're going to get some scriptures too, Revelation 13 chapter that talk about this tech. All right, this video was 7 years ago, and I always like to refer to this and bring it back out from time to time. Okay, and the title of it is New Brain Computer Interface Technology. Steve Hoffman from TED and Siebes, or TED Talks. You can find this on TED Talks. All right, I got it on YouTube. I recommend you watch this entire video. 7 years ago, we put the message out that they're gonna be doing this, and look at what's happening now. But check this out.
And they read the patterns of the brain, and then the person goes back to sleep, and if they dream of the same things, they can recognize those patterns. That is just the beginning of where we are headed. Right now, scientists in laboratories around the world are developing brain chips. Now, these are chips that can be inserted into the brain, and they are wireless. And let me show you. They have actually had a monkey that broke its back. So its spinal cord was severed. The monkey was paralyzed from the waist down. But they inserted a chip in the monkey's brain, and then they inserted another chip in its lower spine. And they allowed the brain to communicate with the lower spine. As soon as they did this, the monkey could walk again.
Now, there's another movie that came out called Upgrade that show this exact thing being used in human beings. Now, I'm going to play this trailer, okay, and this is fair use. All right, this is for educational purposes only. Resharing this, not making any type of income behind this at all. This is for educational purposes only, going over biblical uses. All right, but yeah, this movie was perfect to the T, describing the device that goes into the head. We're going to read about in Revelation 13th chapter. But check this out.
As a quadriplegic, it must be frustrating for you. You're someone who likes to get things done with their hands.
Here's the thing. 4 guys murdered my wife. If I could find these men, I'd do it.
What if I told you I could offer you something that would enable you to walk again? I call it STEM, a computer chip that has the potential to change everything. It's a new, better brain.
I am STEM, the system operating your body for you.
Can anybody else hear you?
No, only you. May I point something out? In the drone surveillance footage, Sir Brandner, Marine Corps, address 414 Citrus, New Ground. You'll need a plan.
I got this.
This doesn't seem like a well-thought-out plan. I need your permission to operate independently.
Permission granted!
Thank you. I see that. We have a knife, too. You now have full control again, Gray.
If you are involved in this somehow, then you need to let me know.
Well, I was in the air.
Okay, so excellent movie, man. Prime example. Going back to the other video. All right, so that's the uses for that. Spinal injuries, right? Being able to allow someone to walk again. And those 2 people you seen playing a video game, those are perfect examples. Those are paraplegics. And if those guys have been doing a lot of testing for the Neuralink, using controlling computer with their thoughts too. Okay.
That is amazing. Totally amazing. So they could actually transmit the thoughts of the monkey wirelessly to parts of the body. But it gets even more amazing than that. So they now have, in a laboratory, monkeys with chips in their brain. And then they have an electric wheelchair. And just by thinking, Just with the thought of the monkey, they can drive the wheelchair around.
Okay, so you see the uses of it.
Are people who suffer from severe medical conditions. So if you have a severe medical condition, like you're paralyzed from the neck down, or you suffer a brain disorder like Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's disease, and that brain chip can restore your quality of life, would you hesitate to get the chip? No, of course not. You would say, put the chip in my brain.
And that's exactly what people are going to say. And these are going to be people that are not paraplegics that are going to be flocking asking for this. When they see the things that you're going to be able to do with this, they're going to advertise this. And the commercials have basically getting ready, or have begun through Neuralink. They're about to start. When you begin to see commercials on your television and these athletes pushing this tech and advertising it, saying, go get it, just know right around the corner is going to be government laws put in place to force you to go get this shit. And once that is made mandatory, and you're faced with prison sentences or death if you refuse it, we're at the end, and that's when the full World War III is going to hit, and Yahweh Shai is basically getting ready to return. You're going to see that sky crack at any moment. Okay, but millions of people will be forced to get this shit. Voluntarily and involuntarily. Okay?
Scientists have done experiments with rats, and they have chips in the rat's brain. And what they did was they taught a rat how to do certain things. And when the rat did all these complex things, it could get food. Now, it took the rat weeks to learn that. Weeks. But then they hooked the rat's brain chip to the internet. And they had another rat in another city. And instantly they connected those two rats' brains. And do you know what happened? The other rat knew how to get the food right away. It didn't.
Okay, so it didn't need to learn it.
Didn't have to learn anything. The knowledge was transferred from one brain of a living animal to another brain.
Now, do you see why the United States military has done this? Imagine instantly being able to transfer all forms of military training, combat, operating equipment, languages, instantly to all soldiers at one time. So this is why they've appointed these individuals, okay, as lieutenant colonels. We're going to a complete technological government society, and it's going to be like out of the video game Cyberpunk, but even more. I mean, it's going to be nuts. Okay, so we are at the end, man. This is what they're going for. The military is going to be trying to get this. So this is why there's going to be a lot of made mandatory to get this tech, to get this devil's venom, this snake venom, which is administered, through that needle, man. And you look at a snake's fangs, okay, isn't it identical to like a hypodermic needle? All right, well, that's what that word mark means translated to the Greek. So when you read out the scriptures, remember that. Remember that word charagma. It also goes into, the bite of a snake. Okay, or it literally also translates to an incision underneath the skin, or like a brand. So this is what the government is going towards. And this will be, each world government will be adopting this. When they see, they're going to have to, because they have to be able to keep up with the military tech of world superpowers. When the United States goes towards this shit, there's not going to be any type of military that's going to be able to do anything with the U.S. When you got a soldier that can control 10,000 drones with his thoughts and completely smoke an entire platoon of another nation with drones from his thoughts, How can you compete with that? How can you compete with a super soldier that has been downloaded on how to use Pikiti Tertia Kali, which is a Filipino martial art, which is known for to be a very deadly martial art, such as like Krav Maga, but almost even worse. You know, Pikiti Tertia, that's deadly, man. Using knives and shit like that. Imagine knowing how to, you know, someone that has like 20 years experience of a martial art, that all that knowledge and training instantly gets downloaded into another person. Instantly. There's no, you know, hey, you got to wait of training an individual for an entire year and getting him to this point to be able to do it. No, man. Instantly. Instantly transferred, man. You know, and then using like microbots and technology and stuff like that to enhance people's bodies. So you get the physical training, you know, accomplished faster too. As far as fitness. This is about to get insane, man. This is real. This is real. This is not no movie.
That is amazing. That opens up a world of possibilities. Because if they can do that in rats today, imagine 10 years from now what they can do in humans. And we will.
And remember, this video came out 7 years ago. So in 3 more years, he basically was on point of what they can do in humans. Because you see that they're doing human trials right now through Neuralink.
Go there. So, mind-to-mind communication. This is something of science fiction that we all read about. But this is actually possible today, as I just showed you. So there will come a point where if we have a chip in our brain, and you out there have a chip in your brain, we can communicate. We could communicate without talking.
So that's like a miracle within itself. That's called being telepathic, telepathy. Communicating with your thoughts.
Communicate when you're halfway around the world. And we can exchange knowledge. So, if you look at a world where we have these chips that are connected to the internet, all of a sudden, every piece of information on the internet becomes accessible to our minds. Now, when we look back at today and we have to go to Baidu or Google and type it in, that will seem so primitive. Nobody will do that. You will just think, what knowledge do I need? And it will appear there for you to use. But it gets even weirder, stranger.
Even though
because we will not only be able to transfer knowledge, but we will be able to transfer memories.
All right, so there you have it. Just like I said, your memory, imagine someone having a memory, going to a Shaolin temple and becoming a kung fu master. They take one of those individuals, they put this device in their brain, and they transfer all of that training instantly to an entire military. Can you imagine that? That's nuts. Think of the pornography, the porn industry, on how they're going to capitalize off of this. Completely immersing somebody in another person's brain experience of having sex with their partner and giving that experience to somebody else for a price. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Now, so you could have an experience like skydiving, and all of a sudden you could transfer that experience to a friend, and all of a sudden they have experienced what you have experienced. It gets even weirder, because we will be living our lives as our lives. We know our lives and our...
Now, this is where the greed of big business will kick in that fuels this nation. This will be a huge profitable business, charging a fee for someone to go and shop to pick up a certain memory that somebody else physically experienced. I mean, people imagine they want to go on a vacation, and instead of them actually going there physically doing it, they don't need to, because they physically will experience all the feelings, the pleasure, everything from that vacation. From the food they tasted, they get to go on that vacation that person did, and their brain is so powerful, they literally make the trip. So if they're getting laid on the vacation, they're feeling that. They're feeling the pleasure. They're going through all of that, man. They're tasting the food. They're getting the feeling of feeling full, of touching the water, being in the ocean, seeing the scenery, the sightseeing. All of that, man. Imagine someone paying a fee and getting that experience. All they got to do is sit down, hit a button, or maybe not a button, but just basically plug in, and they get it. And then they get that whole week of experience within a matter of a couple minutes. That's insane. That's where this tech is headed. Do you see how people are going to be flocking to go to get this?
Memories. But you will all of a sudden have access to anybody's life who wants to make it available to you. People will put open source their lives so others can download pieces of their lives and experience those things. That will be really strange. We won't know the difference between our own memory and a memory we acquired from someone else.
And this is infuriating the Heavenly Father. This is this devil, Esau Edom, playing God, man. How about you physically just go experience it for yourself and go enjoy life in the world that Yahweh created for you? You see? And once you allow someone to hack into your brain like this, you no longer have control. You've given that control from the Heavenly Father to a physical man on earth to be able to do whatever he wants. So if you have any desire or want to serve the Heavenly Father, imagine it getting blocked out by a computer device and someone just making you a slave and putting you in a sunken place so you think you're on a beach somewhere. Meanwhile, your body is being used as a slave in some sweatshop, and you're sitting up here making fucking shoes with your bare hands, and you know they're physically controlling your arms and shit with like a damn video game, or you just getting, you know, sex traded. People just having their way with your bodies while you're in another place in your mind. You think you're somewhere on vacation, and someone just completely abusing you and killing you. And next thing you know, you're just dead and everything goes black. Next thing you know, you're in the spirit world. This is why the judgment for taking this is death by burning to death, fire and torture.
Think about that. It gets even stranger. So, all of us are here learning at Siebes, right? Getting EMBAs and MBAs. Well, this will be obsolete because Siebes will literally be in the cloud. And you will just download from all the best minds in the world whatever you need to know when you need to know it.
So going to college for 8 years to become a doctor will become obsolete when you can just download all the knowledge on how to perform surgeries and all of that. Can you believe that? This is nuts, man. This is why this devil will, once they come out and they perfect it the way that they need to and get the technology where they want it to be, they are going to make this shit mandatory. Because no more do they have to spend money on education, all that shit. It's like they achieved what they wanted to with the Tower of Babel. Because now everybody can know the languages of everyone knows how to speak. It's the same shit, man. Because that's basically what happened in the ancient world. That's why they had the Tower of Babel. Once everybody was on one accord, what did they try to do? They try to be like the Heavenly Father. So they start building a tower to reach up to the heavens. And that's what this damn devil is doing with this technology. Okay? Let's get these scriptures. This is Revelation chapter 13. Okay? King James Version Bible. And we're going to start down here. verse 12, it says, "And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." Okay, the first beast, the beast itself represents the Roman Empire. Okay, so the first beast was the Roman Empire. All right, then of course we know Rome fell, but it's been reborn, reincarnated into America. Okay, or generally Esau, Edom's governments within itself. Everywhere you have this damn devil's, government established, with all these Roman looking like buildings in the courthouses. All right, that's this beast that's been healed. This government system, mainly United States. It says, "And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men." All right, so he's able to what? Use, missiles and bombs. That's fire coming down from heaven inside of men. All right, he's even got military technology to where he uses laser beams now. Okay, from different planes, concentrated, lasers to start fires. All right, verse 14, "And deceiveth them that dwell on earth by the means of those miracles, which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live." Right, so deceiving everyone with those miracles. So he's doing miracles by causing people, the blind to be able to see, the paraplegic to be able to walk, mind-to-mind communication, everything we just seen, everything I just showed you in the beginning. Controlling video games with your thoughts and stuff. People are going to perceive that as miracles. And that's going to do what? Deceive people, man. Deceive. It says, "And he deceiveth them that dwell on earth by the means of those miracles." In the sight of the beast, in the sight of the government. So the sight, you look what the government looks at and controls. All right, is going to deceive the people. Okay? That they should make an image to the beast, meaning worship. Okay, worship this government or do everything the government says and trust in the system. This government that has been reborn, that used to be Rome, that is back again. Wound by a sword and did live. Okay, this government had a wound in the Roman Empire by the sword. It got destroyed in war, and now it's back. Okay, it says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." So many people that don't want to bow down to this government system is going to be put in concentration camps and be put to death. Verse 16, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark," which that goes into the word charagma, the Greek word charagma. Okay, which also translates to the bite of a snake or a brand underneath the skin. It says, "in their right hand or in their foreheads." That's that Neuralink. That's his device that everybody's talking about. That STEM in the movie. There's going to be many different companies with their own titles and names for them. But nonetheless, it's this technology that's written within the scriptures right here that was written over 2,000 years ago. So this is a prophecy being fulfilled before our very eyes. It says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." Okay, so that goes into using your hand as well. So the one that goes in your hand is going to be used to access certain buildings and facilities and also to make purchases. Okay, you got Sweden that's using this. Okay, check this out.
Carrying your wallet in your back pocket. Listen to this. Instead of carrying your wallet in your back pocket or your purse, a tech company wants you to keep it under your skin.
All right, so let's explain here. Wallet More is selling microchips implanted in your hand as an alternate payment. Could this be the future? Maybe. Once you set up your card info in the company's app, look at this. It says payments could be as easy as swiping your hand over a card reader. Right now, chips are not sold in the U.S.
Crazy. 4 years ago, we started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go? What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store, so you never have to wait in line? No lines, no checkouts, no registers. Welcome
to Amazon Go. Use the Amazon Go app to enter. Then put away your phone and start shopping. It's really that simple. Take whatever you like. Anything you pick up is automatically added to your virtual cart. If you change your mind about that cupcake, just put it back. Our technology will update your virtual cart automatically. So, how does it work? We used computer vision, deep learning algorithms, and sensor fusion, much like you'd find in self-driving cars. We call it Just Walk Out technology. Once you've got everything you want, you can just go. When you
There you go, man. And then another video 8 years ago. 8 years ago. Now check this out.
leave, our Just Walk Out technology.
In New York City, you can now buy something without a phone, a credit card, cash, anything. You enter the store with your Palm. You can register your Palm once at any Whole Foods, and they will pair your Palm to your credit card. Once you grab an item, the store uses weight sensors to know something was taken, combines it with camera technology to know that it was you, and charges you as you walk out the store. No staff, no cards, no cash.
Can't make this up, man. You can't make this up. So right now it's saying it connects to your account. You still go to your credit cards. Well, they're just going to switch it. It's an easy switch. You got to have that device in your hand. Here it is, folks. This is what it's going to. This is the MOTB. Okay? You got thousands of Swedes using this to get on trains, to board places. So this is the charagma that goes in the hand. Okay. And we search again. It's interesting, the name of it too was Neuralink. Neuralink implant. And the guy that's in charge is Nero reincarnated. Interesting, man. The spirit doesn't miss, man. All right. So this is the one that goes in the head. The scriptures refer to as the forehead or just your head. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you get it on your hand, left or right hand, wherever, you still got the MOTB, man. The mark of the, you know what? This is the device. So we'll read that again. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which goes in 666. Okay, the number of the beast, or the beast itself, is talking about the government, the Illuminati, the elites, the Rothschild government system that worships Satan. They go by that number 666 a lot. 6. Okay. And also goes into chi-psi stigma, which goes into to implant underneath the skin. We'll get the judgment if you decide to go take this bullshit. Don't do it. Don't do it. Revelation 14. Okay, verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his charagma in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. There you got it. So don't take it. You're going to be tormented for a long time. Your spirit's not going to be given no rest. Okay? You're going to be judged heavily if you get this. It's not worth it, man, to lose your soul, lose your spirit, and give it over to another man in his robotic technology. Just live your life in the eyes of the Heavenly Father and be grateful for what he's given you. But it's going to take a lot of faith for people to refuse to take this, because you're going to lose a lot of access to everyday items of society, such as going to a grocery store, driving a car, getting on a plane, getting on a train, traveling. Everybody's got who refuses it is going to have to go back towards a nomadic, old 1900 style lifestyle, where you just have your own shack that you may build out in the country and grow your own food. And that's if you have the ability to have that land, or the government allows you to get it. A lot of you if you refuse it, you're just going to be on the run, trying to hide in the wilderness, or go for building a building, or take shelter here and there, and try to get creative and get ways to be able to get things that you need. And you're going to have to rely on faith of the Heavenly Father, man, until He comes back and wipes this place out. You're going to have to just deal with, refusing for a time, until the Lord allows the judgment of World War III to fully hit, and this place gets nuked, and we get beamed up, delivered into the Lord's ships. That's what we're waiting for. Divine intervention is our only protection. So with that, Lord's will, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Natasha's Truth of Will Well, and salutations to Jehovah, like person is truth and all sincerity. Shalom.